What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and you know what time it is, Danny?
Roughly 8:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, but the other time that I'm referring to is it is time for another annual Gohan discussion video. This happens literally once every couple arcs. Now, initially, I had already accepted that Gohan was basically going to be who he is. The thing about Gohan is he's always been this character that's wanted to be a scholar. He's achieved his dream. He didn't really want to be a fighter. It was always, shown off in the series in Dragon Ball Z that he never wanted to be a fighter. He had his badass moments, which is why we loved his character. Like when he killed Cell, obviously. His badass moments against Frieza on Namek, and even like the filler stuff when he destroyed the Garlic Jr. squad. Like, it was badass. Like, this is why we love Gohan. Even when he came back after he became, who he was, when he came back as Ultimate Gohan against Super Buu, it was always epic. But ever since the end of Z and the Dragon Ball Super era took over, Gohan has become a very different character. Now, a lot of us have found this very, very difficult to accept because a lot of us want Gohan to be the character that he never really was, and that was basically a carbon copy of his dad. However, the other half has kind of just accepted that he is who he is, and we accepted that. But there's been a lot of signs in Dragon Ball, post-Dragon Ball Z, I should say, that Gohan was eventually going to make a comeback in the future. Now, the big missed opportunity obviously was during the Universe 6 tournament arc, where they needed the fifth fighter. They even asked him, and he was like, yeah, I can do it. Actually, wait, I can't. I have to do a conference. And of course, we have the moment where he fought against freaking Frieza. He got one shot into the chest. In the anime version, he just completely got turned into Ragdoll that just basically was tortured by Frieza. And then he even powered up, only to just not be able to sustain it in the end, which, obviously helped call Goku and Vegeta over. But the point was, Gohan has no longer become the symbol or this icon that we grew up with. He's become who he was, and it's not a fighter, basically. However, there's been many moments that have been hinted in the series so far, and normally I would ignore these hints because I always feel like it's kind of a troll. Big example was when they hinted Fusion. I myself always said, nah, Fusion will never come back. There's no way we could ever experience it. And what happened, Danny? What happened? What happened last episode and before that?
We got a Fusion.
Exactly. So I feel like the way the series is setting up the future of what's going to happen is there's going to be situations where we'll see, stuff that's mentioned in the past that actually shows up in the future. In this situation, Gohan, who asked Piccolo to train him after the Resurrection F arc, was a big sign. We saw Gohan training with Piccolo during the Universe 6 tournament when they were looking for the fifth fighter, and we saw Gohan again in the last episode, and the end before Trunks left. Once again, training with Piccolo. He was out of breath. He seemed to be more of the Gohan that we saw at the end of Z when he fought Super Buu than the Gohan that we saw in Resurrection F. Yeah, he had the hair. A lot of people were saying that it looked like Ultimate Gohan because of how his hair was and apparently the aura, but that was actually just a sweaty Gohan. Don't try to think too much of it. The point is, Gohan has been busting his ass because he knows that if he was going to protect the future, if he was going to protect his family, he can't always rely on Goku and Vegeta because they will not always be there. Big example, obviously, was in Resurrection F when Frieza showed up. So I honestly, he's going to come back. He's going to come back at some point, and I have a good prediction of when. Danny, do you know what the prediction is?
I guess we can talk about spoilers, obviously.
Kind of, yeah. So there's going to be a couple of spoilers here, not really. I mean, all we're going to really discuss is just the future arc of the tournament. But what I was going to say, well, my prediction is honestly, I feel like we're going to get this next arc, which we're not going to discuss. We don't want to spoil that because that's kind of a big deal. It's going to happen in December. We're not going to talk about that at all. I don't think Gohan's going to come back in that arc. I will say that right now. What I think is going to happen, though, is whenever this Universal Tournament happens between the Omni King that was obviously mentioned at the end of the Universe 6 Tournament, I think Gohan is going to be the fifth fighter. It's not going to be Buu. It's going to be Gohan because it's like the perfect setup because like he missed his opportunity the first time. He's been training ever since, and it's going to be his perfect chance to shine and show off the fruits of his labor. I mean, we saw how epic, and the thing is that always kind of bugged me is how can Gohan keep up with characters like, Goku and Vegeta? Like, that was my always big question after, Battle of Gods happened. But obviously it's possible. We saw, Trunks apparently, he started off as a Super Saiyan 2 in this last arc. On top of that, he got this crazy mysterious transformation that we still know nothing about. And, we've seen even Kabe go Super Saiyan in the course of one fight. Like, it's possible for these massive power jumps to happen. I mean, this isn't anime after all. It's like not like one of those things where it's like completely impossible. Anything can happen in an anime. And because of like how everything was shown up in the past, having Gohan come back strong on a similar power level as like, well, I don't want to say power level specifically, but on the same like, fighting scale as like, maybe Goku, Vegeta, I think it's possible. What do you think about that? I know it's long ass intro me talking, but
my counter argument to that is like they get stronger. Trunks got stronger because I mean he was kind of hanging out with them and he was kind of forced to get stronger. I mean he's literally fight or die, which we all know Saiyans somehow get magically stronger if it literally means that they're gonna die if they don't get stronger.
Yep.
Gohan is training with Piccolo, which Piccolo was also apparently strong enough to go to the Universe 6 tournament, which is cool because I like Piccolo. I think he's a really cool character. He's always been one of my favorites. But there's no way that Piccolo is on the same level as Goku and Vegeta, who are literally training with Whis. Like, they're being trained by Whis. And so if Gohan is going to be trained by only Piccolo, only Piccolo, I feel like he might be able to get a little bit stronger, but to be able to reach literally God status, I don't know.
Okay, he's not gonna reach God status. I don't think that. But what I will say this is Gohan has always had that potential, and I feel like knowing Toriyama, knowing Toei, knowing the whole team behind Dragon Ball, they're gonna tap into the writing possibility of Gohan's unlimited potential. 2, Piccolo by far is one of the best strategists in the entire series, next to Vegeta. When it comes down to strategies, these guys, Piccolo and Vegeta, they know their stuff. Now, if you have a fighter who's as smart as Gohan, training with one of the best strategists, with unlimited potential, what do you get, Danny?
I mean, you'd have a really good fighter.
Exactly! So, my voice just completely jumped out. But yeah, exactly! Like, that's what I think is going to happen. And I feel like when we get to the point where we are in a tournament, I mean, first of all, Piccolo was in the last tournament. He knows what to expect, and that's to not know what to expect. Because obviously, Frost wasn't as powerful as the rest of his guys were. However, because of his cheap tactics, he was able to win. And I feel like because Piccolo has that experience now on this Universal Tournament, where when this actual tournament happens between all the universes, you'll have a perfect instructor who knows how to strategize throughout any situation, with a warrior who literally has a lot of potential that he can dig into to basically win the fight. And that's ultimately where I think the series is going. Now,
I feel like it would be really cool because Gohan could literally be like the mix of Vegeta and Goku, because we have Vegeta who's a strategist, but when he fights, he's more of like brute force when he fights, and he gets this huge power boost. He rushes in head first, but he's also really good at strategy. He usually ends up losing. But then we have Goku, who is literally dumb. He is like a child,
especially
with
in Super.
No care in the world, but he is an extraordinarily talented and gifted fighter. So he usually finds out a way to win because of like his instincts, how long he's been fighting, his techniques that he always seems to manage to pull out of his butt at some time. So to have like a mix of those characters, if that could happen, and if Gohan could start to reach those heights, like maybe not all the way up to God level, but if he starts flirting with those power levels, and he is as talented of a, because he's got to have a little bit of his dad's talent. I mean, obviously we've seen him stomp out people before. If he has that fighting talent mixed with a superior strategist, like, that's a deadly mix.
Exactly. And you can't tell. Look, at this point, let me tell you right now, the comment section right now is already going to be full of people who are going to be saying, Gohan's not coming back, give it up. Listen, I'm not a Gohan, actually I'm a Gohan fanboy. Let me just say I'm not, because I grew up as a Gohan fanboy, but my favorite character right now has always been Beerus. But I can't deny what's being presented in front of us, because again, looking at the Dragon Ball Super series so far, everything that they hinted at in the past has come up in the future of the series. So there will be, I don't know, like why else would they have Gohan just training with Piccolo this entire time for no reason? It doesn't make any sense. Now,
and I could honestly take him or leave him. Like, I like Gohan as well. I think it'd be really, really cool if he does come back. If he doesn't come back, it's whatever.
It is what it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. That's the part where I said I'm not completely a Gohan fanboy, because if he stays like that, I'll be perfectly okay with it, because I accepted this a long time ago. But again, due to the fact that they keep bringing up the whole idea of Gohan training over and over again, it tells me that it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen, like, at some point. Now again, I still strongly feel that it's not going to be in this next arc. I know based on the episode leaks from one of those episodes, it's going to be interesting. But again, I'm not going to dig into that just because I don't want to spoil that for anybody else who hasn't kept up with the leaks yet. But I still have a strong gut feeling that we'll not see Gohan come back next arc, but maybe the arc after that, but definitely in the future Universal Tournament arc as a fifth fighter. Like, it only makes sense, because let's be real now, relying on Boo is stupid. I guarantee you this was going to happen. We picked Boo last time, but he fell asleep, so we can't rely on him. Gohan, are you ready? Yes, Dad, let's do it. I guarantee it's going to happen like that. I mean, if I go into a universal tournament where it's kind of a big deal, I'm not gonna bring the guy that fell asleep. Like, it's on top of that, he's very unstable.
I would bring Hercule.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna bring anyone.
I mean, it's kind of overpowered though. It's kind of overpowered.
No, but I mean, I feel like the best argument for it is not even the tournament. It's the fact. It's like what you said earlier. Like, after the Boo saga, you know, he felt complacent. He found his honey, had popped out a little pup, and then he was like, you know, we're all good in the hood now. But Frieza comes back. We have this Universe 6 tournament, which isn't really a threat, but I mean, it's still something that could be threatening if the Universe 6 team wins. You know, we don't really know what would have happened in that case. And then, of course, we have, he knows what's going on in the future with Future Trunks and all of that nonsense.
He didn't actually know about that. Remember, he didn't know.
Well, he didn't know, but like, but you know what I mean? Like,
I bet you that was a shocker in the system, though. Seeing Trunks, you're probably thinking, man, I could have helped.
That's what I mean. Like, he didn't know it, but now he does. Like, he understands that there's never like a real full-on sense of security.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And so he doesn't obviously want to just be sitting at a desk. So, you know, for whatever reason, Frieza shows up again and he loses, and Goku's not there or whatever. Yeah. Then you know it's Gohan's fault, and he doesn't want that. He obviously wants to protect his family and his friends.
Yeah. Either way, I think we both got a point across that we both expect Gohan to come back in the future at some point. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I mean, it's very easy to say, no, he's going to come back. But at the same time, you can't deny all the hints. We saw the fusion hints throughout the entire Dragon Ball Super series, especially in like Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, everything. And it finally ended up happening. And seeing all these hints that Gohan is actively training and keep seeing him come back as a trainer, it's possible that he'll come back. And if they do it the right way, they can build a serious warrior out of him. Again, like you said, a mix of a fighter that's like Goku and Vegeta. He's got the amazing fighting talent of Goku, but the amazing strategies of Vegeta, with the greatest mentor behind him, Piccolo, who can come up with the greatest strategies. Like, this is like the perfect mix for Gohan to have a moment to shine in the future, and I want that. So yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you think about the future return of Gohan, whether or not it's a likely thing or unlikely thing. Are you just crazy, or do you actually agree with us? If you are hyped for Super and hopefully Trunks will return, feel free to leave a like rating below as well. But other than that, any other thing that we didn't mention, feel free to discuss down below as well. But other than that, we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Jaden Tasking and Rhymestyle, and we'll see you guys in the comment section below.